Hello, in this video we're going to talk about how to do a free criminal background check in Maryland. To get started, visit marylandpublicrecords.org. I'll have a link in the description. You can click on that or just type this into your browser. On the homepage you'll notice there's quite a few public record databases available in Maryland, but we're going to focus on the criminal and arrest records. And particularly we're going to look at free databases you have available to you within the state of Maryland. So let's jump into it. Hover over other records and click on inmate search. And so the way a criminal record is formed, it's typically started when a police department or a sheriff's department arrests an individual and charges them with a crime. They will typically send them to or have them hold them in a county jail, and they will go through a booking process, fingerprints, mugshot, identity, officially identify the individual and officially charge him with a crime. After that, they will go to they will either stay in the jail until they see a judge. Sometimes they're released, and then sometimes they will post bail. But in every single situation, they will have to go see a judge. And that's pretty much where you capture majority of your criminal information, is through the court system. Now, if you wanted to look at the initial arrest itself, you do have certain counties that will release this information to the public. And for example, you have just depending on the county, it all depends on what the local sheriff's department will do. Some of them make it easy to research, others not so. So I don't have an exact name, but if you had like an exact name, you could do this research here, as well as in Montgomery County. Now, the process follows from arrest to court. So let's jump onto the court page here. And what you'll notice in the state of Maryland is you have multiple courts, anything from the appellate court to the orphans court. And since we're looking for criminal information, you want to look at courts that have felony and misdemeanor information. So for instance, circuit court here, we have both. And then of course the district courts will also have some lower level crimes, things like evictions, small claims, juvenile traffic. So let's take a look at a link here. And as you can see, you have a couple of different court trials right here. Trial, appellate. You can research a company or a person, and then you can select what case types you want. So we can go ahead and just type criminal in there. This is a statewide system. I'm just going to try a general name here. And you can even select by dates, maybe a particular filing date. Okay, let's see. And you could do also multiple courts here. If you have a case number, you have an opportunity to research specific courts as well. So I'm just going to go with all. So defendant. Actually, let's just do all here. Click search. And as you can see, some of these records go way back. I mean, you have records from the 80s all the way until into now. So that goes pretty far. Majority of like common background checks might go like 7 years, 10 years back. So this is a pretty detailed database, considering that you can look at records all the way back into the 80s. That's pretty interesting. Let's just pick a person here and see what happens. I see what the actual document here would look like. So you have your case information, you have the personal information here, you have the charges here. So you got charge 1, charge 2, and then you have your sentence. Okay, verdict date. It was a guilty, and then you can see that they were sentenced. The sentencing time here is 4 years and 3 months. It looks like, I think it's, yeah, so it's at least 4 years. I'm not exactly sure what everything stands here for, but it looks like in years it was about 4 years. and then it looks like the second charge was for 3. So as you can see, these are very detailed records here. You just kind of get the hang of them, kind of like figure out how to read them, but it pretty much covers the whole case here. And as you saw me, I did not even register for an account. I did not have to use a credit card or payment system or anything like that. It's a public database. You can just come in, and as long as you know how to use it right, you can find information pretty much going all the way back to the 80s even. So another thing to consider is the inmate criminal prison inmate search, and that would be if once the sentencing happens, if the individual has to spend more than 12 months in prison, they're going to go to a prison, or I'm sorry, if there's a sentence of more than 12 months, it's going to be a prison. If it's less than 12 months, it's going to be like a local jail. So if it's just for a few months, they're going to stay at the jail and probably just will be taken care of by the local sheriff's department. Whereas in anybody maybe that's serving for time for a more serious offense over a year, that's going to be the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. And they also have a database which you can use. And I'm just going to go ahead and randomly select the database here. You have some basic information and where they are being held. So not too much information, but at least it'll give you an idea of if the individual is in the system. So one more database that you can research for free would be the Sex Offender Registry. And let's click on the background check page here. And this is also a statewide system. And again, you don't have to pay any money for this. You can search in your area, or you can search by name. You have quite a few options here. So again, we looked at arrest records, we looked at court records, we looked at inmate information, and we looked at the Sex Offender Registry. And this video was specifically about criminal background checks and specifically free databases. So I just went over all the databases you have available to you within the state of Maryland. So I hope it was useful. One more thing I'd like to mention is you have a name search box on top. Now, this is not a free database, but it is a great database, and you might consider using it. It has records, public records, court records, real estate information, criminal information, arrest information, financial records like potentially bankruptcies, financial lawsuits, has some private databases, things like cell phone information, previous addresses, things like that. But it doesn't just pull records from the state of Maryland, it goes outside the state also. So if somebody, for example, has had a record, maybe a criminal record in Missouri or Colorado, and now they're living in Maryland, if you're just doing research in the state of Maryland, you're not necessarily going to catch that. This database gives you an opportunity to look at these other states and previous addresses, so you're better informed and you're looking at more information. So check it out, see if it is of some help. So once again, it's marylandpublicrecords.org. Come on down and get started on your free criminal background check in Maryland. Thank you.